Another one does bite the dust. If you guys are listening to the podcast, this is Donovan Sadiq and my partner in crime, D. Hey, and you can check her out 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Face 5. She is earning every bit of that hate. I mean, you know, I just love reading the comments on your thing because they just tearing your ass up.
Right.
A for effort. A for effort and stuff like that. But thank you guys for joining us. This is the Donovan Sadiq Show. And I know you guys are saying, well, what's the difference between the shows? Just different segments of them, okay? We just got different segments. Okay? Yeah, matter of opinion, yeah. And then, you know, who controls the show. So when Dee does her show, she pretty much runs the agenda. I run my show. I run the agenda. We do two the hard way. Everybody runs the agenda, right. So it's a pretty good thing. But what I want to talk about is local politics. You guys are starting to see signs out there at that time of year again, and you're going to see a bunch of signs out there that are going to be littering your neighborhood and doing all these things that you don't like. One thing you don't need to do, especially in the city of Moreno Valley and Riverside County, is start pulling those signs down because that is a misdemeanor.
It's like, why do that?
Yeah,
that's just stupid.
Yeah, it's just dumb. Yeah. I mean, but of course, we have some people that are here from another country that, you know, and when you come from another country and you're here illegally, you might think that the politics that you learned over there are the same ones over here.
Gangster style?
Yeah, the gangster style, cartel, right. You know, just, you know, bully, right? It doesn't work here. So, and everybody says, oh, you're always talking about illegals, whatever it does. You got to, you know, call a spade a spade. I mean, it is what it is. We have a lot of people in the Inland Empire that are from Mexico.
Well, I was saying, all fairness, too, 4 years or so, we dealt with a dude who wasn't illegal, who he tried to be gangster.
Yeah.
It was an epic fail. He tried.
Yes, he tried. And, you know, I mean, it's not worth getting a misdemeanor on your record, right, and all kinds of stuff like that. Because you got to understand, this is when you do that, you got to understand this isn't like city signs. These are people who've spent money. It is their private property.
And again, it's vandalism. It's like, don't be stupid. Yeah,
it's not worth it. And especially if you're a teenager, and, you know, and you got a lot of local activists, Luis Palomares, community activist, you know, who's probably president of the Mexican Association, which is a total gangster cartel Mexico thing group that hates people because they think they're the indigenous people of this place. Now, we all know this used to be Mexico, but, you know, hey, you lost it in the war. It is what it is. I mean, we took it, and that's what America's about. I mean, I know she's laughing,
I'm just laughing.
But these are facts. Yeah, but these are facts. And, of course, Luis Palomares, the president of that organization, is Victoria Vaca, who's you know, a councilman here in Moreno Valley, and she's facing a possible recall, which I hope really does go through because she gets on her ballot, that's her ass. And so, as we know, Luis Palomares, who's the vice president of this organization, last year got caught on videotape vandalizing people's signs and properties. And here's the sad thing, Luis Palomares. It wasn't her. Specifically, she directed her grandchildren to do it.
She had the babies out there.
She had her grandchildren out there doing it. What kind of lowly, dirty, low-down snake in the grass will use their kids to do crimes? Now that's low of the low. Am I not lying? That's low. When you use your damn grandchildren, don't we want the best for our children and our grandchildren?
She was like, baby, I'm making some cookies today. Just go.
Yeah, look, you know, and we know the Palomares has a family enterprise of criminality.
Oh, damn.
They are basically the Mexican mafia of the Goodfellas.
What, really?
Look up San Bernardino. Go to the San Bernardino County. They are known worldwide in San Bernardino, the Palomares. Okay?
Goodfellas style?
Goodfellas style. I mean, all kinds of stuff.
Should we be talking about them then? I mean,
it's public record.
Is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah,
I don't know if we should be...
It's public record.
We might need to tread lightly.
Yeah, no, we don't need to. I'm speaking public record.
The opinion of...
the host. This all is public record. Just like I've been saying, Evan Moron, he's a piece of shit, because it's true. The guy admitted everything that I allege. You know, and once again, here we are in Moreno Valley, and what do we elect? A guy that believes in forcible rape, homophobic and racial tweets, and, you know, the guy just lies about it. And then when you put the facts up on, he wants to put me in Facebook jail talking about that's not appropriate. It's factual.
Well, you know, we've talked about this before, and I always say I don't really blame him. Now, I mean, it's, talking about forcible rape being cool and all that. No, that's disgusting. Let's get that out the way. But he can't vote for himself. I mean, he can, but his vote alone doesn't get him on the seat. So people who voted for him, knowing that that's his history and his background, and he likes playing with dolls to rape each other, whatever the hell he was doing,
and talking shit about blacks and Mexicans, and people.
That. They know that, and they elected him to the board. That's the constituents' fault.
Yeah, no,
that's
absolutely.
The volumes of them that they have no problem. Like to me, it's like such an oxymoron that you elect a dude who is talking about rape with dolls and all this stuff to something that's governing the lives of children. That's weird. Like, what's going on, people?
Mexican cartel. Are we in Mexico? This is the kind of stuff that goes on in Mexico.
I doubt it.
This is the kind of stuff that goes on in Mexico, where, I was at the school board one time, and a guy who couldn't even speak English, don't figure, but he wants to speak at the podium. He said, and this is when the controversy started. Matter of fact, there's a video of me speaking to Evan Morgan about that situation.
Yeah.
And this guy got up. This guy had daughters, and he was like, "Hey, it's no big deal." The guy actually said that it's no big deal to believe in forcible rape. He had no problem with it.
Because to me, forcible rape is like an oxymoron. I guess that's the word of the day, oxymoron, because rape is something that you do by force. And so if you have the force rape, and this is weird. It's like, how acceptable?
Well, let me ask you this. You have a daughter, a grown daughter. If she was in the school district right now and this guy was on the school board, what would be your opinion of that?
I would make sure, I would do my part to be vocal at the, my opinion, first of all, would not be a favorable one. I'd be like, what's wrong with y'all? Well, you guys really think this is acceptable? Like, what is really going on here that you would allow somebody who believes in that kind of stuff to govern the lives of children and be influential
and believes in racial epithets in a district that is very...
We got to look at the climate that we are living in. And that's something we...
Before...
No, well, not really. I mean, I know it was before.
Trump,
I know it was before Trump, but
I know.
It took Trump a while to get there, and he started. I'm not saying this. I mean, Evan probably thought that way before Trump.
Oh no, he does. That's why he avoids me, because he knows his ass.
We live in an environment to where people who voted for him more than likely agrees with him as far as what he was saying. I don't know exactly what he was saying about black people, whatever.
Sure.
But I'm sure the people who voted for him also hold those values to be their own values.
Well, I don't have to disagree with you, because as we know in Moreno Valley, people are too busy getting to and from work, and they are not informed. Thus, we started this show.
Well, damn. I mean, I don't live in Moreno Valley, and I know that he believes in, I guess, allegedly, forcible rape.
Right, but that's because...
how do I live outside the city and they don't?
That's because you're involved in our politics here. What I'm saying is, you know what I mean? Okay, and then you're allied with me. So
now they know.
Right.
Why is that still okay?
Again...
How come he's not looking for a recall?
Right.
Or something like that?
Again.
He couldn't be... making decisions over the life of my child.
Well, here's the thing. When you're backed by Highland Fairview, and again, Highland Fairview backs these candidates that are racial, rapists, they believe in all this stuff, and that's where the money comes from.
Let's play devil's advocate here. Maybe Highland Fairview actually has their finger on the pulse of the community.
They do.
And knowing that's what the community really wants.
Okay, and exactly, and I'm going to agree with you, and that's my point of this whole thing. The election season, you really got to research your candidates and what's going on. Just because they look like you doesn't mean for you. And I want to talk about two particular candidates in particular. You guys have seen signs of a young man. He again is I think he's very qualified. Alty Holcomb.
Okay, I know of him.
Alty Holcomb, very nice guy, former Marine officer. Now, that's very hard to be a Marine and an officer and a brother. So,
that's the brother that he does something with Richard.
Yes, he's his chief of staff or whatever the deal is.
Like
and very outgoing brother. Like I said, he's a veteran. And I want everybody to understand this. Have you guys noticed there's a big uptick in veterans running for office?
Maybe because you guys know what is actually needed, not just from a veteran standpoint, but in general. And you guys have a bleeding heart for your own. I mean, you guys are getting done dirty.
Well, yeah, we're getting done dirty, but I think you hit it right on the nail, head on the nail, it being that being veterans, when America needs to take care of some situations, They don't call on civilians and say, grab your guns, we're going to Iraq.
Well, they might be calling on y'all asses now that Trump going over there dropping bombs.
Right. So basically, there's been an uptick in the veterans running for office. And usually veterans don't do that for the simple fact that we've already done a lot of stuff already. We want to go and get into civilian life, and we don't want to get involved in the politics of all that stuff. We want to go live our lives because we've given up so much before. But when you see an uptick of veterans that are going... that either we're going in the wrong direction or something is fundamentally wrong, especially when you see people getting convicted for criminality and things aren't being done for the people. And I think that's a good thing when you see a guy like Altie Holcomb who is getting involved.
Well, let me ask, what are his... what exactly is he running for?
He's running for... he's running for, I believe, supervisor.
Okay. So what makes him qualified?
Okay, well, like I said, number one... we know he's educated because he was a Marine Corps officer. Okay. He's in the Riverside County for a long time. He was a chief of staff for General Richard Roth. Very active in the community. He's been active in the, I hate to, but let's do what the Mexicans do. He loves God. He's been in the church and he loves the children.
Okay, let me ask you this. Why should I vote for him?
I'm going to tell you why you should vote for him. Okay. Because if you look at all the other candidates that are running in that particular situation, I do not believe anyone has the background that this particular person has. And I'm not here to tell you who to run for and who not to run for. I'm just giving you a skinny because people have been asking me and they're calling me and saying, well, Donovan, if you had to go, who would you go for? I'm telling you, I'm voting for Altie Holcomb because, number one, I know the man. And he's a man of integrity. He's a God-fearing man. Highly involved in a lot of organizations within Riverside County. So
let me ask you this, just since you brought him up, because I have seen his signs around. I can't remember where I was, but maybe Riverside.
The signs are going up.
Now, as a black person that will vote, what's he going to do for me? Or is that clear yet?
Well, it isn't really clear because remember, he's running for supervisor. He doesn't necessarily, when you do, the supervisor position doesn't necessarily deal with, that's the new camera because it goes off.
Oh, got it.
It doesn't necessarily deal with people's direct problems. What they do is they supervise. That's why they're called supervisors. They deal with what's going on within the county grounds and what gets built, whatever. So
that still doesn't really kind of affect me.
Well, it does.
Like it affects the warehouse.
Right,
and stuff.
right. And he makes those decisions like that. Grounds with the animal, the water.
That definitely affects me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he, that's a person that's going to make those kind of decisions.
Okay.
And, like I said, there's some things, of course, I don't like everything and everybody, but I've done my research on it. His positives outweigh the negative. And one of the things that I'm going to say that I can only say that the negative that I do have with Altie is the fact that he possibly has ties, to Denise Fleming. Through an organization. No.
Probably, because they...
Yeah. And
they're all
they're all mixed in. I'm not saying that makes him a bad candidate.
No, I'm not. I mean, but let's be honest.
Yeah.
Most African Americans
run in the same circles.
People, especially in the Inland Empire. Like I'm friends with a lot of people with different organizations, whether it's NAACP, I'm talking about Facebook, NAACP, the what do you call that thing? The Black Chamber of Commerce, this, that, and the other. Right. All
run in the same circles.
Yeah, or intertwined.
Yeah, intertwined.
Yeah, they all know each other.
And so I'm just saying for me, I can't speak for anybody else.
I mean, I'm just asking some questions because I just...
Yeah, but overall, other than that, I think he's a superb candidate.
I have to check him out.
So again, do your research on these candidates. Another candidate I want to bring up, Corey Jackson.
Okay.
Same thing. He runs in the same circles as Altie Smith and all these. Yeah, they all run in the same circle. NAACP, all that stuff. Doesn't mean they're a bad person. But my point is, I've done my research. I need you guys to do your research and vote for who you think is going to best promote your interests. And, let's not be fooled by that. The other thing I want to talk about, which is very, very important to me, is, number one, let's look at the video and you guys tell me what you think. So, you saw it yourself. A white woman comes up to a pregnant soldier and wants to fist fight the lady. I mean, no regard for the woman being pregnant, no regard for the woman being in uniform. None of that. And what I heard was this all started from a parking incident. I mean, what's your take on that?
My take on it is this.
As a mom and a woman that was pregnant that carried that baby for 9 months.
To me, it ain't even about being the mom or the lady who's pregnant. To me, and I know people are going to get mad when I say it, but and y'all forgive me on a little jet lag, so this might come off a little harsh. She was out partying with Jamar Quad.
Groupie.
I just think a lot of white people feel that way innately. Like, how you gonna go up to somebody you don't know? First of all, called her black bitch.
Wait, with her son,
right?
Her young...
and the other woman she was with, they called them both black bitches and lesbians.
Yeah, one was a sergeant and one was a captain in the United States Army.
And now this is a fully grown man walking up to these women along with mama, like, what if that? Let me ask you this before I get to what I was gonna say. Now I woke up a little bit. Okay. That's you and your mama in a parking lot. Somebody stole your parking spot and your is acting like that. Are you gonna be like, mama, stand down, mama, or are you gonna join in the bullshit with her?
Okay, we're talking about my mama, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about your mama.
Mama, do what you gotta do. Yeah, mom. Yes. Now my mom be kicking ass, so I let her do what she gotta do. No, but
not only in the parking lot, but they followed it all the way to
the restaurant,
to where this woman gets arrested.
Right. No, I mean, totally acceptable. That behavior. Number one, this is our United States military. If you like the Negroes in uniform or not, they still are there protecting your rights, but you do not have a right to
and put her hands on her.
Yeah, and the thing is, for a parking spot.
Okay, but let me go to my original point. Go ahead. Okay, did you see 12 Years a Slave?
I did.
All right, and all the other slavery Negro movies.
I did.
Where, especially 12 Years a Slave, and I want to use this point, and maybe we could put it up as we're talking.
Okay.
It's the part where Lupita, I don't know, they're standing up, doing something, and the slave master's wife hates Lupita.
Yes, yeah.
And she comes up to her and scratches flesh out of her skin, out of her face. And she makes it a point throughout this movie
to torment
this lady because her husband can't stay off of her. So she's mad at her. And so to me, when I see those things like the lady at Walmart or the restaurant Cheddar's, I guess it was, and she goes up and puts her hand on, that's innately who they are. Black people to them are like, as we were back then, chattel. We were no better, maybe equal, but maybe less, I don't know, than a cow or a chicken running around. And we were property. And so they have carried those same ideologies over to 2018 to where now her son felt like he can go up to these black women, because you know damn well if it was reversed, if he was black, what do you think would happen? He went up to 2 white women and did all he did, and then his black mama doubled down on the nonsense his wife.
We would be talking about 2 black people murdered by the police.
Exactly, which, to that point, another brother in, I think it was Barstow, maybe? Walmart, somebody in Walmart said they looked suspicious. Police came and they loaded 30 rounds into this man's car, killing him. And so, back to my... That's just how they think about black people. I'll say whatever I want to say to you. And matter of fact, I'm going to put my hands on you. This lady has a uniform, and she sounds like she's very decorated.
She's a captain, she's a captain.
Yeah, so you going to put...
She kept saying, ma'am, trying to defuse the situation.
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't that sad? You could go over there in Iraq, put your life on the line, but you got to come here and put your life on the line.
Which is why a lot of black people, especially my father, who's a conscious objector, back then was like, I'm going over to fight for this country, but when I get back, I'm going to still be a nigga to y'all.
Right.
With no rights.
So let me ask you this real quick, since you're saying that, because I know you're using a lot of adjectives. So are you saying all white people?
I didn't, and if you rewind this video, I said some. I never said all. I don't like to deal in absolutes. Right. But I just put that out. Yeah, no, I know, because I know somebody will try, but I'll tell them, rewind it. But I think there's a great deal of a great amount of white people who feel that way. I mean, because even on your post, there's a white dude defending her. Well, we know, how do you know she said that? Okay, so what you're telling me is this woman, you saw the part you did see in the video, you saw her and her son and his wife act in a very vicious manner toward these women, and you want to tell you, how do we know he called them a black bitch?
Well, let's even take it out of like women, because you're putting in the context of just some woman on the street. I mean, if nobody's looking at toward these soldiers.
But we know, as we see, that don't matter.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He's mad because these black bitches, and his words, not mine, these black bitches stole his parking spot. So he not only is he going, because most people get their parking spot stolen,
you just
they
go
mad,
on. Yeah, you just go on.
The bird, keep it pushing, but he gonna run up on these women as they would do back in Jim Crow slavery and subjugate these women, not just verbally, physically. Bitch, you took my parking spot.
See, and the funny thing is, these were soldiers, and like I said, I've seen some. We call them Wookiee monsters, women Marines, Wookiee monster, because the Marines are looking for a few good men, and they mean that shit. So that's an inter service joke. So that's an inter service joke because they have when you see a fine female Marine, oh man, she's fine.
Okay, got it.
But anyway, how did that know that these women weren't trained to snap his fucking neck?
He doesn't care because in all his whiteness, he like I'm autumn, and that's the false idea of white supremacy.
Wait, if you're going to be talking about him, you got to say it in the right context. Them bubble gump top guy, white guys, you know,
and all
how
my whiteness,
all my whiteness.
Who was it that if you get the poorest white person to believe that they're better than any black person, will always have their vote? But that carries on to so many other things. I don't care if she's decorated and this, that, and the other. I'm still white.
Right.
And how dare that nigger take my parking spot? How dare her? That's what. And then his mama, who's really from the old school.
Old school, right?
She damn near close to slavery and Jim Crow. So she's like, you're right, son. Who are these black bitches to take our part? That's what you call white privilege.
White privilege, exactly. I was going to say that. And, this also goes back to the fact that they had no regard that this was a pregnant woman. No regard.
They didn't have the same thing as slavery. They had regard that it was a pregnant woman, and we're going to put her ass out there in the field from sun up to sundown, and subject her to the most deplorable conditions.
Because here's the thing: I don't know how close this parking spot was, but if me and you were arguing over a parking spot, and I thought that you were pregnant, you go ahead and get it.
Again,
what happened to chivalry?
When I'm a white man that suffers from white privilege, and I say suffer because that to me that's a disease. You think no matter what, your whiteness should trump anything anybody black has to do, whether they're like plainly right. Your whiteness should trump that regardless. So I don't care if she's pregnant. That ain't nothing but a little niglet to me any damn way she's pregnant with.
If it was reversed and it's a white person, outrageous.
Right, and then the cold part is the police said themselves, if there wasn't a videotape, they probably would have believed those people.
Wow.
And so that's another thing that white privilege offers them is, I know I called police on your black ass, and they're going to believe me.
And I'm glad you brought up the thing about white privilege. Now, I have a lot of white friends. Believe it or not.
Believe it or not, I got white friends too.
Yeah, but I have a lot because I was military. So
I didn't know I don't bite my tongue.
Yeah, I have a lot of white friends. So I know some people that have recently picked up the show saying, oh, damn, Donovan isn't, no, I have a lot of white friends. Right. And like you, you know how I am.
Right.
When the end of days comes, I have no doubt they're going to support their people just like I'm going to support people. That's common sense.
Mystery in that?
Right. And I'm not mad at them for doing that. That's human nature. Right. That's what you're supposed to do. So, and we'll figure it out later. But a lot of my white friends, and some of them, didn't even know what white privilege was, and
because they just automatically were born with it.
Well, exactly. And I've been watching videos. I'm getting ready to go overseas,
right?
And we're going to be doing a 2020 special, and we're ready for that.
I'm waiting for that.
But the thing is, in all my travels around the world, white, and you could kind of see it. And I'm not I hope I'm not stereotyping. That isn't my means to do this, but this is my observation. And I'm going to get video of it when I go over there.
Donovan's observation.
Yes, this is my observation. Right. Donovan's observation with Dee's endorsement.
We're going to see if he endorses it. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
But you'll see a white guy go somewhere. Other than a black country, they act like they own it.
Oh, no, that's not just your opinion. That's true.
Yeah, they go places and they're just... They, run roughshod and they think that they can do whatever they want. Oh, I'm an American or I'm a British. And
then when they end up in a Chinese jail or something. I was just stealing the flag to take from my grandmother. I didn't any harm by it.
Right. Or they're getting there that 20 years ago, that kid that was in Singapore and got caned.
Because he tagging. Let's see, over here, your privilege let you get away with all of that.
Right.
They tore that ass up.
Yeah, they did. And they gave him a break. They only got 4 canes.
Right. And the other dude got like 10 or something.
He got like 16. But a lot of my white friends, they didn't even know what white privilege is. And it's like, well, how could you when you don't... Here's what I told them. Go to Africa and act the way you do. 9 times out of 10, you won't act like that.
Right.
And I said, that's white privilege.
White privilege is knowing that you could go and slap somebody because they took your car and get away with it.
Certain rules apply to you and certain rules apply to them.
Knowing you could call the police on somebody in Starbucks and know that the police are going to believe you because you're white.
Right.
And not only you white, but you're a white woman, and you get these two brothers who are not a menace to society. It wasn't a menace at all. And they won't leave. And then the police not only say, can y'all leave? Arrest these brothers on the strength of your white privilege because you felt like they weren't going to buy nothing.
Right. And a good example is what's going on in South Africa right now. You've got these Afrikaners, white privilege. They figure this is our country. We did this, we did that. But in my travels through Africa and some of the places, I did Rwanda, I did all these things like that. It is really funny, especially me being an American. It is weird going into a country, even if you go down to Jamaica, where black people control everything. To me, that is the weirdest feeling.
Because we've been conditioned over here in America to believe that we are inferior. Mm-hmm. We don't believe that, but overall, it's been ingrained in some degree that we are inferior. And so, like you said, when you go to a country that is are native to us, we're like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, everything is black. Everything owned black. Everything is, like I said, that's why people say, some of my friends, we were talking about one of the shows we did about South End. They go, do you really believe that's going to be fair? Yes, I do.
Out of that same pie hole of theirs, they will argue to death that, slavery is over in America. You just need to get over it. It was us that did that.
But you're still reaping the benefits.
Right, but over there they want to talk about, do you really believe that's fair? Ain't that the same shit y'all do over here?
Exactly. So
white privilege will have you be in denial about the stuff that your people did.
Right, white privilege. So if you really want to know, and you say you don't know what white privilege is, go to a predominantly black country.
Right.
And watch how, and that's why they don't go to black countries. A lot of them don't go there because they're so uncomfortable not being in control.
Being in control. And I again, we talked about it with the little boy that was shot at. The lady screaming and hollering. I think in the back of their mind, they know that perhaps that's coming back on them.
Yeah, back.
I mean, you can't do horrible things to people and think that that's not eventually going to come visit you. People who follow the Bible says that the sins of the fathers will be visited upon their children. Mm-hmm. You believe in that, a prophecy, any of that? I mean,
yeah, it is what it is.
It is written. If you believe in all that.
Pastor Don's been doing a series on days. He's on part 14, and we're getting ready to do some serious stuff. And he talks about the birth pains, revelations of these signs of the Antichrist and things that are going to come. And that what you just alluded to was exactly what he talked about in the series. So if you're interested and you're a Christian, so-called Christian, or a part Christian or whatever.
I believe there's a lot of fake Christians out there, especially if you root for Trump, your ass faking the funk. Yeah,
you're faking the funk.
Completely.
But that's what he talks about, these signs that are going to be going up. I mean, since we're talking about Trump real quickly, here's a good example. How are we up in arms about a guy using chemical weapons, but yet it's okay to bomb people and kill them? Killing is killing no matter how you do it. And a Christian is saying killing is not good. But, we don't get upset if it's regular killing. Just, you use chemical weapons. Now we got to go over there.
You're killing your own people over here with, just alone.
Right. That's true.
So it's like, how do you...
And speaking of that, when we talked about that on your show, a lot of people messaged me and said, well, how do I know that Trump didn't sign this, Trump didn't sign that? Do your homework.
I mean, he announces research the shit. I read about
it. Right. He's not announcing, and it's so sad. Stop listening to the news. That is not entertainment.
And stop listening to Sean Hannity because we know he rides dirty.
Yeah, exactly. The news is entertainment, and I'm going to prove it. You could turn on KTLA, Channel 2, Channel 7, Channel 9, Channel 11, Channel 13, whatever channel you are listening. If everybody is reading the same exact news, that's not news. Those people reading it, they're actors. They're paid actors.
And then the next hour, they're going to be like, it's breaking news. Like you just broke that.
Right. And it's all the same.
Yeah.
So that's entertainment. You've got to do the research for yourself. And that's what we talk about on this show. That's why we talk the way we talk on this show. We just think of a topic and say, hey, here's our opinion on that topic. And that's the bullshit. And people say, well, how did you know that? Donald Trump reversing a lot of Obama-era things, and he's doing it very quietly through executive order.
That's because he got these fools on the hook.
Right.
Trump can go out there and slap their mama,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll be like, well, I'm sure he had a good reason to it.
Right.
I mean, so he could just,
now,
they ain't paying attention.
a majority of Trump supporters are white trash type people, whatever.
Well, I mean, not even just white trash. There's a lot of prominent, I guess, white people who defend that man to the end.
Right, but here's the thing. He's cut your ACA. He's cut that.
That's not Obamacare, right?
And he just signed an order to make you work for your wealth or whatever.
And there's some drug testing going on by
right,
food
exactly.
And all that.
That predominantly affects the white population.
Fake news, Donovan.
Is it?
Yes. It's all black people.
Oh, it's just black people.
Only black
right.
people getting food stamps and welfare.
Right.
You get your facts straight.
Now let's look at the facts on that. White people are still the slim majority of this country. So, of course, we're only 13%. Our numbers aren't grown. So, comparatively, of course, there's more white people that are going to be on welfare than black people comparatively.
Right, because of the numbers.
So, that's just how it is. So, he's undercutting his very base of people that support him.
And they're just walking right into the
right into it. And, and so getting back to, the big topic, my thing, and my whole point of what's happening in the local elections, you really got to research these candidates and what they're doing. We have developers that are starting to put candidates that you had never heard of them years before. This one guy named Leo Gonzalez, he'd be a realtor. Now he's running for the school board because of some salacious thing that's happened on the school board in regards to a longtime school board member. And see, this is the thing about professional politicians. You got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And that's what I'm saying. When you're on there too long, people are going to get enough stuff on you to where they're paying you.
Yeah, because eventually you're on there too long, the money starts looking good.
And you get complacent.
All of that.
Right.
And like you said, people start, building a dossier
on you. Exactly. And that's what's happening. And so this guy named Leo Gonzalez, who, by the way, tried to copy what we're doing. And thank you, Leo, because imitation is the greatest form of flattery. He does little videos and things like that. He's the guy that said that there was a great restaurant in the Skechers. You saw that video? Yeah, that was him. He was behind that. But he's a realtor from Corona.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure, ask me a question.
Wants to go eat at a shoe warehouse. I mean, he made this video make it seem like he was taking you out to Ruth's Chris or something, or the Mortons. I'm like,
yeah, it's a great place to eat.
It's a Skechers warehouse,
and it's failing.
Well, maybe the restaurant is the way to get people. He's like, oh, we have great pizza and nachos. I'm like, what the fuck? Taking my ass to no shoe warehouse to eat.
Right, to eat.
Where do they do that at? But obviously somebody's falling for that.
Well, when you've got a whole bunch of Highland Fairview employees that get white envelopes, I'm sure they're going to be eating.
I still ain't taking my ass to no shoe warehouse and buying no food. That is, that's like eating, going to a chicken shack, a fried chicken restaurant that's located in a hair shop. In
back of a hair shop, exactly. But he's the guy that's behind those type of videos.
Okay.
Now, unfortunately, the videos didn't really catch on. A few of them get out there, but...
Get at us, Leo.
Get at you. We'll help you. But now you're running for office, so guess what? I'm going to be all in your shit. All in it.
And maybe his kickoff party will be at the Skechers restaurant.
Yeah, at the Skechers restaurant if you want to do that. But, like I said, I have nothing against Leo. I know him and stuff like that. Right. This is not personal. This is what I do. Just like you taking money from Highland Fairview is what you do. Ain't no big thing, but I'm going to be on all your shit.
That's the spokesman. What's the name of the restaurant?
I don't even know the restaurant. I don't go to a damn warehouse to go eat.
I was like, all right, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I've seen strange
stuff. But now Highland Fairview is going to be putting this guy on the
school board.
On the school to replace, hopefully, or whatever's going to go on with this other guy. So we got a lot of stuff to think about. Things are heating up. Also, District 4, Shaylinda Bernard.
All right.
Has her kickoff coming up. If you guys go to the Inland Empire Facebook page, you guys can see it there. Unfortunately, I don't have my notes to announce it formally, but it's going to be happening very, very soon. I believe. Don't quote me. I don't want to say whatever it is.
Relatively soon.
Yeah, it's relatively soon.
About in the neighborhood of.
In fact, we'll put it up here, and you guys can see it. And as a matter of fact, at the end of the video, you guys put it up, and you guys will see it. But please show up for that if you're in that district. The golf course over in Moreno Valley has passed the Planning Commission. It went 7-0. I was there. I spoke. Pastor Don spoke. Eric spoke. I brought my nephew to, you know my nephew, Handsome AJ. Yeah, Handsome AJ was there, and I think it was his looks that took the thing over. I believe it. I mean, so Handsome AJ got us over the line. So
the golf courses are happening, and
no, it's not happening yet. We have one more thing. We're at the 1 yard line, and let's not.
Got to get to the city council.
It has to go through the city council now. Now let's not pull the Seattle Seahawks and not give the ball to my man. Okay, we got to get this over the line. So we're going to be counting on a lot of you guys, please. There's a lot at stake here. You're looking at a formal Boys and Girls Club, not a little shack, 2 or 3 people calling itself a Boys and Girls Club. We're talking about backyard. Yeah, we're talking about a fully automated Boys and Girls Club on the east side of the city, which we haven't had in the city at all. So if you're a church is going to be there, a restaurant, so you can do quinceañeras, and a fully functioning golf course.
I mean, who would be against that?
People that don't want 417 units of apartments on their side of the city. But you've got trucks and a WLC coming. So what difference does it make?
Is that over there where that Procter & Gamble is?
No. That's on the east side. It's on the east side. But off JFK and Moreno Beach. So it's like on the eastern side of it. But
I mean, how could you say no to the kids?
Right, exactly.
I mean, I know that restaurant might be in competition with the one at Skechers.
But at least you have a better view.
Right, I mean, give it a chance,
I mean, I'd rather go to a restaurant where I can see a nice green golf course. Right.
Well, I'm going to tell you what it is.
Country club atmosphere. What is it?
It might be some people hating because when you have low self-esteem and you're not real, I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah, keep it real.
And you can't see yourself. And the reason why I'm coming this comment because at the debate, the debate for what was it? I can't remember what district it was.
District 4.
4. Mm-hmm. So somebody stood up in the audience as the guy, the developer, or whatever his name was giving a spiel on the golf course saying that people will be able to come from the public, buy a pass
and stuff like that.
Well, so the lady stands up. Well, why would you? I'm paraphrasing, charge, but they're not going to be able to afford that. That's kind of quite a bit of money. And I'm like, ain't you by the ignorance so and so? I mean, raise your level of expectations. Like, go out and see and do some of things. Like, go have lunch or dinner on a golf course where you can oversee something besides a freaking warehouse wall.
Mm-hmm. Was this a black woman?
Wasn't a black woman.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But that's where their expectations are. So they can't see anything like that because they can't see themselves doing it. So if I can't see myself doing it, we'll need it.
Right, exactly. And
go to Skechers warehouse.
Right. And the thing is, the needs of the many should outweigh the needs of the one. And that's the whole point here. If you are a single parent over there on the east side, I was a product of the Boys and Girls Club. And I know some of...
I've gone too.
Wait. And I know some of my enemies watching saying, oh, hell no, we can't have it. And if they're guys like you...
But, kids, when they had stuff to do back then, we were more productive instead of running the damn street.
Exactly. So if you're a parent that is on the highway commuting and stuff, and, it's a structured environment. Your kids can learn things, do things, socialize there, all kinds of stuff. It's a win-win. That's babysitting. What is a monthly pass to the Boys and Girls Club? When I was coming, it was like $7 a month.
I don't even think we paid, to be honest with you, when we were
going. Maybe now $20 a month for babysitting.
Right.
Or after school care?
And and honestly, I don't know the dynamics of what went on with this boys club as far as the money is concerned. Yeah. But I could only guess, because $20 ain't nothing. But I would only guess it's $20 for maybe some admin fee, but that also gauges your level of participation. Mm-hmm. When you pay for something, you got to make sure your child is getting the best out of it, and benefiting and doing what they're supposed to do. So the $20 is really a commitment type thing.
Right. I frequented the Fullerton Boys Club in Orange County, and I'm going to tell you, they had this part of it that I learned woodworking, I learned plastics, I learned to play basketball, I learned to swim. But they had the best thing for us at that time, had an education center.
Right.
And we would go over there and do our homework.
I learned a lot too.
And my mom got off at work at 5:30. She'd pick us up, and we lived out here, and we were commuting from Orange County out here, and there was nothing out here. But my homework was done. I got in the car, took a nap, got home, everything was done, got ready for bed the next day.
It was just a conducive place to be. Yeah, yes. I think I absolutely agree that needed to give kids something to do. Especially
here in Moreno Valley. We don't have one, and it's just, these kids are running around, vandalizing, doing what they're doing.
Maybe I need to get a mom and dad's club, too.
No, we already have that. It's called Senior Center.
I ain't talking about that. Not quite that old, but I'm just, teach their moms and daddies something.
Right, but we need to get one of those. You're absolutely right. But this is what happens. We have council members who don't give a damn about the community, but yet they get elected all the time And, that's where we're at right now. So I cannot emphasize for you guys, I can't do all the homework for you. You've got to do the homework for yourself. I'm dealing with the recall, and I'm telling you, I'm voting to recall or get Victoria Baca on the ballot to be recalled. That's where my is going on, because she ain't doing a damn thing. If you saw the video that we did a couple of weeks ago, I asked Victoria Baca a very simple question. What have you done? I don't want to hear what the city's done. What have you done specifically for District 1? She couldn't articulate one thing. But I'll give her a caveat. We need at least a porta potty. That's all we're asking for. A porta potty.
A bucket.
A bucket.
A hole in the ground.
Something at Adrian Mitchell Park.
A water bottle.
Because I am sick and tired of seeing Hispanic kids pissing on the wall over there because, they're over there, doing their soccer, whatever they're doing, but they have no facilities to alleviate themselves. Is that too much to ask?
No, it's not. I'm not saying they should be doing that, but if I'm playing at the park and
we have
my house is 3 blocks down, I'm probably not going to want to run all the way home, and to that point too, especially in the climate that we're in, it's not good to have your children or in anybody really, for say health reasons, urinating outside. But what a lot of people don't realize, the right or wrong person sees you, depending on how you see them, they can call the police and you get cited with indecent exposure. And you can be labeled a sex offender. Sex offender,
yeah. So, Victoria Baca, criminal Victoria Baca, I know you...
Well, she probably ain't going to do it now because you just called her criminal. You got to be nice.
No. Well, I got to call her by her title.
No, you got to be nice.
Criminal Victoria Baca.
Mrs. Baca.
I know that you watch this show, but you say you don't, but you do, because you quote everything that we say in it. A porta potty. Here's something that I'm giving you to help you out so that you can say you've done something in District 1. A porta potty. And if you really want to impress us, go through the Planning Commission and make us a permanent one. I don't think anybody would be against $50,000 or whatever it costs.
Then I'm just going to play devil's advocate here. They're probably going to be like, well, we got to hire somebody to man the park every day.
But they're all over there.
To lock it up.
Yeah, there's maintenance workers over there.
Well, and they ain't that far from City Hall.
Right. And the thing is, with the graffiti that gets written over there on a daily basis, there's somebody there all the time. Jeez, I mean, come on. This is the area. I mean, is
that's probably why they don't need no bathroom over there.
And that's why these kids are shitting. And that's why these kids are shitting behind the trees and using the playground as a litter box. It's sad. It's a damn shame. But that's where we're at today, and that's what I want to talk about. You guys, please. Everything is heating up. A lot of people are doing meet and greets. Go out. Meet these candidates, ask them questions.
Meet and greets. Where you been, Donovan? I know you went to one that you got. Did you get scared off, and that's why you don't go to the more?
I didn't get scared off.
You felt bad because you got shunned?
No. I didn't get scared off. But the thing is, I can't sit here and fight everybody's battles. I am concerned about my district first. I can't be fighting for District 4 if you don't want to fight for yourself. That's the way I look at it. And nobody's fighting for District 1. So I got to use my resources where I need to use them. And if this can help people and get them informed, this is what I'm going to do, and that's the extent of what I'm going to do. So anyway, you guys, please research these candidates. Just because they look like you doesn't mean they're for you. Another candidate to look at, and we don't talk about her right now, but I'm telling you, Aja Smith, she's the real deal. You guys want to contribute to the campaign, go to her website, check it out. She's also a veteran. She's running against Mark Takano. Now Mark Takano, but Mark Takano is still talking about he's a teacher for Congress. You've been in Congress for over 6 years now. How are you still a teacher? Come on, let's get with it. You guys, do your research on these people, and we're going to go into the second hour, and Dee is going to lead us into that one. Again, DK, 3 p.m. Sundays Facebook Live. You guys, we had an excellent show last time. I hope you guys saw the video on YouTube. Check her out. She is earning that hate, and those numbers are going up. We're going to check you guys out in the second hour. I don't even know what that means. Yeah, it's sweet. Check you guys out in the second hour. Dee's going to lead us. Stay tuned.